So here's a question where we've got a little bit confused. We can see that once we get up here, everything becomes a big mess. And the problem is someone has forgotten to do one of the first things I really encourage everyone to do whenever they try and do anything with fractions in algebra. And that is always factorize. Now, we actually can't factorize much here. The x squared plus x plus 1 quadratic actually doesn't factorize at all because nothing multiplies to give 1 and adds to give 1. However, we can factorize this x cubed minus 1. We should all know how to do that by now. X cubed minus 1 equals x minus 1 times x squared plus x times 1, which is x, plus 1 squared, which is 1. And that's the key to this problem, because now our fraction becomes 1 over x minus 1 times x squared plus x plus 1 plus x plus 1 over x squared plus x plus 1. And we notice that then to make the denominators the same, which is what we need to do when we add or subtract fractions, we only need to multiply the second fraction by x minus 1. We don't actually need to do anything to the first fraction, which is why just blindly cross multiplying is actually going to cause us a lot of problems. So we're going to end up, in that case, with 1 plus brackets x plus 1, x minus 1. And I'm actually going to leave it here now, but I'm actually going to re-expand it at the end just because it looks a bit nicer. Now, x plus 1 times x minus 1, well, we should all know that's just a difference of two squares. That's 1 plus x squared minus 1. Okay, and I'm just going to re-expand the bottom because we know that that's the difference of two cubes, so we can turn it into x cubed minus 1. Just saves us some space, and the top just becomes x squared. So the answer is x squared on x cubed minus 1. So the key to this one is making sure that you always factorize, because the factorizing makes it easier. Here's a nice quick question. We've got minus 1 plus 1 over v equals 1 half, and we've already turned the first number into a fraction. So if we multiply top and bottom of the first fraction by v, okay, then we end up with something like minus v over v plus 1 over v equals 1 half. So 1 minus v over v equals 1 half, and means we can now do our magical cross multiplying. So now we've got 2 bracket 1 minus v equals 1 times v, which is v. 2 minus 2v equals v. Add 2v to both sides. We get 2 equals 3v. And our answer will be v equals 2/3. Let's just double check our answer to make sure we got it right. We substitute the 2/3 into the original equation. We get 1 over minus 1, that's just minus 1, plus 1 over 2/3. So we're going to have to reciprocate that. So that becomes 1 minus 1 plus 3 over 2. And that's just 1 half. Excellent, got this question right. Two good questions here. Let's do E first. Formula F equals 9/5 C plus 32 relates temperatures in degrees Fahrenheit and Celsius. Find the value of C that corresponds to F equals 95. So we set F to 95 and we get the equation 9/5 C plus 32 equals 95. Take away 32 from both sides, we get 9/5 C equals 95 minus 32 is 63. And then we have to divide by 9/5. Okay, it's the same as divided by 9, multiplying by 5, or in other words, doing 63 times 5/9. You can double check that yourself. That becomes 63 over 97 times 5 equals 35 degrees Celsius. If we did it ourselves, 9/5 of 35 is 63, plus 32 is 95. So we got that one right. Okay, so let's do the second question. C and D are related by a formula. Find C when D is minus 2. So we replace D with minus 2, and we get 3 over C plus 1 equals 5 over minus 2 minus 1. That just becomes 5 over minus 3, or minus 5/3. We now have a nice cross multiplication situation. So we can cross multiply, don't need to factorize anything. So we're left with 3 times negative 3. That's going to be negative 9 equals 5 times C plus 1. Which means negative 9 equals 5C plus 5. Take away 5 from both sides. We get minus 14 equals 5C. That means C equals minus 14 over 5. So we're done, and I'll just let you check that one by yourself.